12,000 years ago, crossing the ocean meant trusting your life to a bundle of reeds. The first ships were not built from wood or steel, but from plants gathered by hand. For early mariners, every voyage carried a real chance of never returning. The invention of the dugout canoe created stronger vessels, capable of traveling farther than ever before. The sea was no longer a barrier. It was becoming a source of survival.
Early sailors feared losing sight of land because there was no reliable way to navigate the open ocean.
The first maritime trade routes quietly connected communities separated by hundreds of miles.
Long before compasses, sailors learned to read the sky itself. The stars became humanity's first global navigation system. Some of history's greatest navigators crossed oceans without maps, compasses, or written directions. They could detect distant islands by reading patterns hidden within the waves. Bird migrations served as living navigation instruments thousands of years before GPS. Entire civilizations spread across the Pacific, using knowledge stored only in memory. Their voyages covered distances rivaling modern commercial flight routes. While others explored oceans, Egypt was building one of the world's first shipping networks.
Control of waterways generated wealth long before modern highways existed.
Ships were becoming larger, stronger, and capable of carrying entire economies. The sea was evolving into the world's first international trade network.
Humanity had discovered that ships could connect entire civilizations.
The Phoenicians transformed maritime trade into a global business model. For the first time, products from different continents were meeting in one marketplace. Navigation remained dangerous because even skilled sailors could become hopelessly lost. War at sea accelerated ship technology faster than trade alone ever could. Control of the sea often determined the fate of entire empires. Ancient ports handled volumes of trade that would surprise many modern viewers. The oceans were becoming invisible highways linking distant civilizations together. Even the most advanced ships remained vulnerable to nature's power. A simple magnetic needle would forever change humanity's relationship with the ocean. For the first time, sailors could maintain direction even when the sky disappeared. The compass encouraged explorers to venture into oceans once considered impossible to cross. New navigation tools fueled one of history's richest trading systems.
Maritime trade was connecting continents centuries before global corporations existed.
Navigation was evolving from guesswork into science.
The Vikings pushed maritime exploration into some of the world's harshest environments.
European sailors reached North America nearly 500 years before Columbus. Every navigation breakthrough expanded the known world. Some Chinese treasure ships were larger than many European vessels built centuries later.
These floating cities projected power across thousands of miles of ocean. The sea was becoming humanity's greatest information network.
A new ship design would launch the age of exploration. For explorers, the ocean remained a frontier filled with mystery and danger. Many expeditions ended in disaster long before reaching their destination. Every successful voyage reshaped humanity's understanding of the world. The oceans had become the backbone of global exploration and trade. Maritime trade was generating wealth on a scale never seen before. The next invention would finally solve one of navigation's greatest mysteries. For centuries, sailors could measure latitude, but longitude remained one of history's greatest unsolved problems. This invention finally allowed ships to determine their location with unprecedented accuracy. The age of navigational guesswork was coming to an end. Accurate navigation dramatically reduced risk and accelerated global trade. Trade volumes exploded as ships became faster, safer, and more reliable.
A new source of power was about to challenge thousands of years of wind-driven navigation. Steam engines allowed ships to travel regardless of wind conditions. For the first time, ships controlled their own destiny instead of relying on nature. Steam power began rewriting the rules of global transportation. Wooden ships that once seemed massive suddenly looked small.
Iron and steel unlocked entirely new possibilities in ship design.
Ocean crossings that once took months were becoming dramatically faster. Ports evolved into powerful engines of economic growth.
The world suddenly became much smaller. Ships were no longer just transportation. They became symbols of engineering ambition. Hidden beneath the surface were machines more powerful than entire ancient fleets.
The carrying capacity of ships increased beyond anything previous generations could imagine.
A global transportation network was emerging across the oceans.
Humanity had conquered distance, but an even bigger revolution was approaching.
The stage was set for the container revolution that would transform global commerce forever.
A simple metal box would revolutionize global trade more than any ship before it.
Containerization eliminated countless hours of manual loading and unloading.
Modern ships could now carry more cargo than entire historical fleets combined. Global commerce accelerated as shipping became faster, cheaper, and more predictable. Some modern cargo ships are longer than the tallest skyscrapers are high. The world's economy now depends on a continuous flow of maritime trade. Everything from smartphones to furniture often begins its journey aboard ships like these.
Navigation had evolved from starlight to real-time satellite guidance.
A journey that once relied on stars now depends on a global network of satellites.
For the first time,
Ships could be tracked anywhere on Earth. Artificial intelligence is now making decisions once handled entirely by human captains. The next generation of ships may operate with little or no crew aboard. Modern ships can already see farther and react faster than human operators.
The maritime industry is racing toward a cleaner and more sustainable future.
Every movement of some modern ships can now be mirrored inside a computer. What once required courage and instinct may soon rely entirely on algorithms. Tomorrow's shipping lanes may operate more like digital highways than oceans.
Humanity spent 12 millennia turning the sea from a barrier into a bridge.
The technology changed, but the ocean remained the same. The sea remains the invisible network supporting nearly every modern economy.
Almost everything we use has traveled across oceans before reaching our hands.
Modern ships process more data in minutes than ancient navigators could gather in a lifetime. The world's oceans are now managed by a vast network of sensors and satellites and algorithms. The next challenge is not conquering the ocean, but doing so sustainably.
Few technologies demonstrate human progress more clearly than ships. Every generation added one more breakthrough to humanity's mastery of the sea.
The tools changed completely, but the goal remained the same: finding a safe path across the ocean.
What began as isolated coastal journeys eventually connected the entire planet.
From bundles of reeds to autonomous giants, 12,000 years of innovation transformed the ocean